Hello, I'm Crickets, and welcome back to I Have a Story. I want to ask you, isn't threatening a court with an AR-15, isn't that considered terrorism? Especially when the gun's been gone for years? Follow along. I knew there was a whole lot more to add in this one paper, and I couldn't read it, and I was especially struggling at that time. I can see a little bit better today. My eyes go in and out, and I have to memorize things and follow along. So let's talk about this here. There's some just in this one page I showed you yesterday, or my last video, the mountain that she filed. One thing I want to point out here with that is she has filed the same thing in 3 different court systems, trying to get one of them to arrest me. And something my counselor pointed out after reading all these documents of what she files, she keeps changing her story. Mine has never changed. So let's follow along here. Something I want to point out, because I didn't have this memorized and I wasn't seeing it so well. If you look on here where she claims that I'm threatening to kidnap our children and I'm slandering and threatening her children and family, and she attached the evidence, there's no evidence attached that supports any of that. Actually, the evidence this is part of dealing with somebody who's mentally ill. She did this to her second husband before me. Or whichever husband that was. I'm not even sure how many times she's been married. I know of at least 3. I've been lied to and seen so much abuse and everything from this person that I don't know what to believe it's ever come out of her mouth. This proves it. So much just in this one single paper. So nothing was attached that proved that any of that. Didn't the judge read this? Did he actually read this? Because even what she put in here makes no sense, because what she attached shows that I said the complete opposite. I even said, I'm not going to hurt anybody. I can't hurt anybody. I won't hurt anybody. But she actually attached, that is what she attached. Me saying that I'm not going to hurt anybody. I can only hurt myself. Did the judge read any of this? So let's look at this, where she claims that I have a large quantity of guns and ammunition, including a modified AR-15. Now, she bought me that gun for my birthday in November of 2018. I never wanted it. To me, guns only have 2 purposes: hunting and self-defense. An AR-15 is not a self-defense gun. It's nothing I would grab in self-defense. That's what a pistol is for. You do not walk around a house with an AR-15. It's not the safe gun. It has a very fast and small round, which means it goes through objects. I'd never use one, just like I would never use a shotgun in my house for self-defense. I don't understand so many people out there who have sawed-off shotguns. I don't want to say illegal. They sell them as self-defense. But there's no way I would ever use that in my house. The spread cannot be controlled. You have to be smart about this, and this is where our ignorance in our country has ruined it for everybody. So all I've ever wanted is a pistol, a shotgun for bird hunting and hunting where a shotgun is required, and a rifle for actual hunting. I can't say I like hunting, but it's part of being a man. It's part of knowing where your food comes from, part of being strong. I can understand. It hurts. I don't have the heart to do it, but I have to be a man and be strong. It hurts every time I do it. Even the last one that I did, I put it off, and people are like, dude, you got to get to it. I'm like, yeah, no, I struggle with it. But then I tell myself, I got to be a man. This is how food is given to your family. We want to say we go to the grocery store, that's all great. And yes, that is a modern convenience that is wonderful. But at the same time, it's not always healthy. It may not be there, and I want the skills and the ability. And I mean, you can put 75 pounds of meat in your freezer for free. Do you know how much money that saves you? I never wanted an AR-15. I think they're a useless gun. They are a weak gun. Why did our military start using them? That's part of where people need to get educated again. Our military started using them because they went through a mindset that we don't want to kill. We want to wound our military opponent who's trying to kill us. That's actually why they started using the AR-15. It is a far less lethal round than darn near anything else out there. And they wanted to be able to carry large quantities of ammunition and have it be lightweight. So that's why they're small. I'm not saying it I mean, a BB gun is lethal, so you can't say it's not lethal. But as far we've made this country make those think they're so scary, which is why she put that in here. Part of why I'm so against making things scary and being educated again, people. But that's what's in here. Well, guess what? I sold that gun in October of 2019 while she threw me out and had an affair. Again, in our marriage, just like she did in her second marriage and in her first marriage. All of this is documented. Even being pregnant with another man's baby in her first marriage while her children were very, very young, just like she did in our marriage. Doesn't care about the kids because she's mentally ill, and this is part of the mental illness. And when I made a video all the way back in the beginning trying to remember what all, she's been diagnosed with so many mental disorders, sexual disorder, hypersexual disorder is one of them. I mean, yeah, this woman wanted me to have sex with her in the middle of a street, in the middle of a neighborhood. And when I said we can't do that in front of people, she cried and told me I wouldn't because I thought she was fat and I didn't like her and I think she's ugly. And no, it's because it's not right. God, people, my kids should not have to suffer any of this. So let's keep on going here. So she claims that there is a police report that is attached that was not stating anything about any of this. There was no police report stating any of this. She also claims that I'm the one who threatened to blow up the Monroe County Courthouse when I submitted the text message from her to me with her being the one saying that. I have the evidence. I never said that. She did, but I pay for it, even though I can prove she said it. I have it in text message from her to me, submitted it to the court, and they don't care. Or did my attorney even submit any of that stuff? Because I'm really curious. Through all of the paperwork I received, the only evidence I see that got submitted on my behalf was a couple of notes from my counselor, where even my counselor, and that's going to be more to talk about further in these papers, she saw my counselor, and my counselor told me to get away from her, that she's psychotic. But yet in one of these papers, she claims that I saw her counselor, and her counselor said that to me when I never saw her counselor. I tried to see her counselor. Her counselor refused because it's a client privilege. Well, I need to let you know what's really going on here, ma'am. Well, we can't talk to you about what's really going on. We just want to hear her slander. This whole system is a joke. Especially when somebody's been diagnosed with so many severe mental disorders, has a lifelong history of psych wards, mental institutes, even criminal history. Let's keep going. So it claims here, again, every single one of these, she claims that there's a report attached. There's no reports attached of even this one. Trying to remember what this one said. I'm going to see if I can pick out some words here. I called Children's Services. Children's Services saw the mountain of evidence, including the damage to our house, the kids' toys broken all over our yard, all over the hallway, which I recorded the incidents, played it for them, called Children's Services. The woman was about in tears and said, "You've got more than I have ever seen. We have a case." But since my ex-wife illegally ran to another state, and they did nothing, they didn't do a thing. There was no report on her side given that Children's Services claimed me to be mentally ill. Again, how many felonies are right here just on this one paper? This one piece of paper out of I don't even know how many is in that stack. That's life in prison just right there alone, just on one piece of paper. Yet she's done this in 3 courthouses, multiple cases, even in individual courthouses, multiple cases, and this still is allowed to continue. I still have to pay for this and be persecuted for it. Not even accused. I get persecuted and now have a record of this. This is wrong. Did my attorney actually? Now I want to know, because after getting this full report, including only a couple of notes from my counselor who saw her and said that she is the problem, told me to take my kids and get away from him. So much more that I can get into, but that's a whole video in itself. And used all this to falsely slander me, and I can prove it's all slander. This is narcissistic abuse, part of where she's been diagnosed as a narcissist. And I'm the third husband that I'm aware of that she's done this to. But let's leave little kids in her care, right? I'm gonna ask you, I mean, isn't that terrorism to... And by the way, with that AR-15, one, it was never modified. I never even shot the gun. I didn't like it. It's not a gun I like. It's a dumb gun. This country using that is, it's dumb. Oh my God, is it dumb? But I never modified it. I never even played with it. I think I shot it once or twice just to see it shoot. And it just sat in the gun safe. And then it'll show in federal records. I mean, guns are transferred in federal documented. It'll show it was purchased just days before my birthday in 2018. It will show in October of 2019. I sold it to the gun store in Fayette, Ohio, and it's documented transfer of sale. That's provable that in 2000s I didn't have that gun, but she's claiming I still do. Again, that's forging documents. She knows I don't have that gun because she threw an absolute shit fit that I sold it. How dare you sell a gun that I bought for you? That was a birthday present. And I got my ass reamed. Well, guess what? You threw me out with nothing and I needed money. That's part of why I have guns and why I collected guns. And not that I never had any more than I think 7 guns at one time. Oh my God, that's an arsenal. But they're easy to sell. It's like having money in the bank. And when year after year I'm getting thrown out, and I can wheel and deal and trade and get stuff and buy stuff and have something to save my butt in the end. And then I had to hide them from her, which even the police know. And even the police who spoke to her firsthand told me, don't you let her have access to those guns. She's crazy. Our local police officers talking to her firsthand came back and called me to the house and said, don't you take them kids back to her. Don't you let her have access to guns. That woman's nuts. But yet she gets supported by the judge because they're the only ones at the top of the line that matter. It don't matter what everybody else has to say if the judge refuses to look at it. I mean, how could you look at this with the evidence? And then what, I have more coming? Oh my God. Again, I mean, that's a book of papers just from one court. And what she even submitted is not only federal felonies, provable lies, but the opposite of exactly what is documented me saying. I've had enough. This is all wrong. This is illegal, immoral, corrupt. But yet this is our system.